Editor's note: the screenshots from the New Zealand Herald newspaper article were sent to us by Jessie Warren, an Adele fan who says she was invited backstage. According to Jess, the NZ Herald deleted the article shortly after publication. Warning readers to hold onto their hats, the New Zealand Herald writer claims that a number of fans who were invited backstage to meet Adele witnessed the British singer shapeshift into a giant lizard and then apologize for scaring them, explaining that she meant no harm and is a good reptilian. The New Zealand Herald has not responded to questions asking why they deleted the article from their website, or if they were acting under outside orders.
This is also new. It's not new. I realize that nothing we've been doing is new. We haven't been tapping into new areas of the brain. We've just been awakening the most ancient. This technology is simply a route to powers that conjurers and alchemists used centuries ago.
But then there's Roger Ailes. He came against Trump. Look what happened to him.
Yeah, trust me, the Father's hand is not in this. He is not supporting Trump.
Mm-hmm.
People can dream up what they want to try to say Trump is a Christian. He's a blood-drinking Satanist. And I warned them 4 years ago before they killed him and took him over. I warned them they were going to destroy him. And not 6 months later, they mind-wired him. I pleaded with him.
Mm-hmm. And Donald didn't listen to your pleading?
No.
Okay, now where is he getting his blood to drink?
You know, he's been going down to the My Labs because you have to. To get to that high as candidate level, you're taken down to the My Labs where they child traffic, bring in children. You have to rape and kill them. You have to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
Why do you think Mike Pence was named out of nowhere to be the vice president? He's being rewarded for his service to Satan.
So
Mike Pence has killed hundreds of babies and raped and killed them.
Wow. Okay, well, next time I meet him, because I'm here in Indiana, I've met him a couple times.
It's underneath the airport.
Who knew?
They have a My Lab underneath the airport, Indianapolis.
All right, Tim from New Jersey, the Fast Blast. Sherry, would you agree the entire sky is used against us, and there is a partition that's put up, i.e. the sky is fake, kind of like in that one movie with Jim Carrey?
Certainly. There's a cage over us. It's like a partition. It's the exact word I see in the codes. It's partition.
Okay. Is there any way we can bust through this thing and get out in space?
Portals.
That's the only way we can exit the planet?
That's the only way. Portals. That's how they get bases built on Mars and stuff. They use the portals. People say it's not possible to take shuttles and stuff up there, and they're right. They don't. But they go because the real space program's in Pine Gap, Australia. It's not NASA. It's Pine Gap.
Pine Gap, well.
Pine Gap's where the Stargates are, where they access portals.
What really happened to Prince, Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston? Were they offed?
Prince was killed because he was going up against the Illuminati. If people say it was a record company, whatever. He never signed the dotted line. He was gay, and so they let him go because he was gay. But then when he started fighting against his record company, he just, it became a fight with the Illuminati. You don't win. And so he was killed by them.
Well, you don't want to get involved with them bastards. They'll come at you.
Michael Jackson, I have a whole video on Michael Jackson on my YouTube channel, The Truth About MJ. He was killed by Adam Shapiro. He was sacrificed in 1984, the satanic group in L.A.
Yeah.
So all the ones after 84 were just lookalikes.
What about all the child porn on his computer?
Those were the lookalikes. That wasn't Michael. That was the lookalikes because Michael was already dead.
It's not like everybody's dead. We're only dealing with a world full of clones, man.
They are. He was the one where they really learned to keep the brand going because his name was worth billions.
Well, I could easily see that. Yeah, when
you're
dealing
and so now
with
they do it with everybody.
Okay.
Angelina, Brad Pitt, they do it with everybody.
Okay. All right, Steve Ellis, again, with this question, is Satan the head of Islam?
Of course. Allah is Sananda. Yes, he hates them all. He can't stand them. He doesn't spend any time with them.
Okay.
His main focus is Christians because they're the ones he hates. Everybody else is already his. The Muslims are his, the Buddhists, the Hindus. The only ones that aren't his are the Christians.
There you go.
That's why he hates them. He calls it the candle burning phase.
Okay.
He wants to snuff the light out of the world, which means come against the Christians and persecute and kill them.
Mm-hmm. All right, this question will put Yahweh first. Is Sananda up? What is Sananda up to and the Galactic Federation?
They are here. Actually, they're here in Ohio. They're still in the Capricorn. If you look up in the sky and you see a really pretty blue azure star, that's them. I think in the Hopis they call it the Blue Star Kachin or whatever, because this ship is really high, and it's just made of metal. But now, that's them. That's where they're at right now.
Now, is the Earth part of the Galactic Federation of planets?
They have a council over Earth, like heaven has a council over it. The Elohim, mentioned in Genesis chapter 1, the rulers, the angels, that were there when the Earth was created, are now the council that rules over Earth and heaven.
Okay.
And so Lucifer mimicked that by creating the council over Earth, which everyone thinks is the Ashtar Command. Somewhat is, but the real power is with the albinos in Libya, the underground base there. The white lizards outrank everybody. Most people don't even know they exist. But they feature it in Star Wars, so they do tell you stuff in movies.
Yeah. Man, here's another one. It says, are the Sirius... That's the planet or the constellation. Sirius fish people aligned with the reptilians. Sherry, how many damn alien strains are there out there? We got the cat strain aliens, the reptilians, the reptoids,
everywhere.
the
We got the bears, the Chewies from Star Wars. That's an actual race.
The fish people?
Yeah, you know what? We have how many constellations? 88?
Yeah, probably.
That's at least 88 factions of aliens, because stars are alien starships. That's where they live. They're their planets. NASA's been lying to people for hundreds of years.
As long as
you look up in the sky and you see the constellation, the Big Dipper. It used to be called the Big Bear and Little Bear Dippers because
Big Bear, Little Bear Dipper.
The Little Bear and Big Bear.
Yeah.
Remember it being called that as a kid?
I don't know. I mean, is that dipper full of aliens or something? What's
yeah,
that?
It's the bears.
Oh.
It's the Chewies.
The bear
Star
aliens?
Wars Chewies. It's the Bigfoots. You see on Earth, the Bigfoots. That's where they come from. So, all of these aliens have their own planets and constellations, and people think it's just gases, balls of gases. It's the biggest joke.
Well, I can see that. So there's a whole nother strain of aliens out there, man. How many? You said there's 88. So we got to deal with all of them.
Well, there's more than 88, I'm sure, but yeah, we deal with this. Well, there's a lot of them that don't deal with Earth. The most ones are the reptilians, and they're vicious, and that's why a lot of them won't even come near Earth because of the reptiles. Lucifer's people are vicious.
Okay, so all right, so what you're saying is that is Lucifer the head of all these groups, all these alien groups?
Well, they all have to answer to him because he's like the boss, because he's like the prince or king that came from heaven. You know what I'm saying? He's the boss. So he does demand. You don't have to give it. He will demand in that respect. You will give it to him or be tortured by him. Just like he does his people on Earth. When they step out of line, they get punished.
As they should. Question from Branson again from the live chat. What is the point of the Mandela effect?
I asked Lucifer about that because I had no idea what was going on. Everybody was hyping about it. He said they've been doing that for years. Changing stuff.
Yeah.
Changing text, changing things. He said they've been doing that forever. So we're noticing it now. He said because of the internet, more and more of their stuff is being known. They can't get away with anything now. People are onto it.
Yeah. So are they going to eventually take over the internet to stop free-railing shows like this from exposing the truth?
Of course. Especially when the candle phase begins. Candle snuffing phase. The whole grid may be down, so there's not going to be any internet anyway.
Yeah. Here's Ben Hennessy from Australia. 30,000 years ago today, did the Anunnaki wipe out the Atlantean race?
The Atlanteans, there were continents on Earth that existed during the war, the time of the war, the 1,000-year war. Atlantis was part of it. Lemuria was part of it. There were 5 or 6 continents here on Earth. That were, it was formerly Shan, formerly known as Shan.
Yeah.
And they were all part of that civilization. They were angelic civilizations, but they were fallen at that point. They're fallen angels. So they do exist, but at, you know, at a different time.
Okay. Back to the live chat. It says from guest 720, why has Lucifer held off invading the earth?
Because he wants the Christians out of here. He's not going to take over the world until it's candle burning time.
Okay. You mentioned candle burning time, and I want to clarify, what is that?
That's snuffing the light out of the world. That's killing the Christians off.
Okay.
That's what they refer to it as, the candle burning phase.
Okay. And where are those Christians going to go?
Well, you know, the ones who stay faithful, there'll be several different groups raptured off the earth. Church of Philadelphia will be taken off the earth. 144,000 first fruits will be taken off the earth. The bulk of churches will be left here to be rounded up in FEMA camps. They don't realize that.
All right, Patty from Colorado, Fast Blast. When Father took you to see Earth, did you see the firmament as a dome, or was it kind of like a tent, like Isaiah 40:22?
When I saw Earth, and I was looking down on Earth, it was a beautiful blue. I didn't see any kind of in-the-box type thing that people are trying to describe. It's a sphere inside a cube.
Right.
I didn't see any of that.
No.
I just saw a beautiful blue planet, and I'm looking down on it. I'm like, wow. And I've seen it several different times.
Oh. All right. So now, do you see God sit? Is there a literal throne, and is somebody literally sitting on it?
Yes, he does.
Okay. And does he have people like beside him, or what's
there
going on?
Are the 24 elders that are in the throne room with him, described in the book of Revelation, and the last chapter, somewhere near the last of it, describes the 24 elders that are there. What it doesn't talk about is the council, and that's the one I deal with the most. Council.
Now, where is that council at?
It's on in the same area as the palace.
Like in another room.
No, it's its own building elsewhere.
Okay,
There's a lot of buildings in heaven. People think it's just clouds and airy space. There's a lot of buildings and things in heaven.
On a more mundane note, is there like indoor plumbing there, or is that not necessary up there?
It's not necessary.
Okay, nobody's got to go to the bathroom on it. Right,
Elohim created Lilith. Elohim is plural.
Okay.
Elohim is the angels that were there. God had to come in and fix up the mess, so to speak. Because if I can be blunt, the angels screwed it up because Lucifer seduced Lilith.
Okay.
So then God had to recreate Adam. Adam got a new body.
Okay.
And then he put Adam to sleep, put out of him, and recreated Eve. So God had to come in and clean up the mess the angels created, so to speak. So to speak. Just kind of having some fun with that. But that's basically what happened.
Okay. Here's Dreamwalker out of live chat. Says, why is Satan allowed by God Almighty to do his evil?
You know, he tests mankind. We're not robots. People can choose who they want to worship.
Okay.
And that's their whole life journey, finding who they're going to worship. And people who don't choose go to Lucifer and default. So it's basically just a testing thing.
Okay.
He uses Lucifer to test mankind.
Okay. Steve Ellis wants to know, did you speak to Jesus personally?
Yasha, yes. I talk to him all the time.
How's he doing?
Very sweet, very nice.
Oh. And now, what does he look like?
Well, I would say, but I don't want to give them any ideas. But I will tell you that the picture in the churches is Sananda. That's why Father always says, I'm not in the churches. Yeshua says, I'm not in the churches. Because they have pictures of Satan all in them, Sananda.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like that. So the one that when he comes and calls himself Jesus and people recognize him because he's been hanging in their churches all this time, that's Sananda. That's one of Satan's people. But the devil has thousands in his faction, in his group, his organization, and they all work for him. And so they're the ones who go out and target people with light. They call them people of light. They can look at a human and see if they have light or not.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they really don't bother, and they just, torment them, whatever. But if a person has light, it means that God's light is in them. And they'll target them. They'll try to kill them.